Welcome to Just Here to Make Friends. On this episode of Just Here to Make Friends, we're watching Married at First Sight, U.S., Season 13, Episode 1. This episode is called Lone Stars No More. In this episode, our couples tell their friends and family that they're getting married. They buy wedding attire, they do some pre-wedding celebrations, and Bao and Johnny get married. On this episode of our commentary show, Just Here to Make Friends, we're going to be talking about Zack and Michaela. We'll wonder things like, will Zack ever find a partner to play the piano for? Can Michaela ever learn to compromise? And will romance be enough for this couple? This is your official spoiler alert! We love the show, so we wouldn't want to spoil it. If you haven't seen this episode and you plan to, please go do it now, and then come back and hear our thoughts. You can watch the current season of Married at First Sight and all other seasons on Lifetime. New episodes of the show premiere every Wednesday night. First of all, we would like to say a huge thank you to our viewers. It's amazing. I can't believe we got so many people watching our show. This has been so incredible and so much fun. This was our first try ever making something like this, and people actually watched it. Also, we'd like to say a huge thank you to the experts. Thank you, Dr. Viviana, for reminding us about the importance of closeness and intimacy in relationships. Thank you, Pastor Cal, for keeping your passion for marriage alive and remaining hopeful that love can always grow. Thank you, Dr. Pepper Schwartz, for reminding us that commitment and loyalty are required for marriage.
Now it's time for the disclaimer!
The disclaimer!
The disclaimer!
This is a reality television commentary show. Reality television creates storylines out of footage of real people's lives. Most of the time, this footage is from unrealistic or out-of-the-ordinary situations. The way people react in unrealistic and extraordinary situations is entertainment. We only know these people through the show, which shapes a storyline around unrealistic situations.
Basically, let's keep in mind that these are real people with complex history, complex motivations, and complex feelings. We are only seeing a small part.
Which is fun.
So fun.
Hopefully we can cheer them on in love or root for them to just break up already. But this isn't a place to be cruel. Let's keep that in mind in the comments.
Because if you're brave enough or crazy enough to let us in on your life, we thank you. And bless your heart. Thank you for entertaining us. Thank you for letting us learn from your failures and celebrate with your successes. And thank you for letting us sit with you in the in-between. We're just here to make friends.
We're just here to make friends. Zack, 27 years old, the romantic idealist is what they're calling him.
Wait, who did he tell that he was getting married at first sight?
His family, his mom, his dad, and his brother. One of his brothers.
He's got two other brothers.
Mm-hmm.
One of his brothers is in a long-term relationship, and the other one is engaged. So that seems to really be the reason why he's doing this right now. Question mark? Is that envy or jealousy, or maybe just regular biological, people want to be married and
yeah, seems a little lonely.
Little
seems a little rudderless to me. Also,
yeah.
Just kind of like very. He's the youngest of anyone on this season, I think, but he really seems like he's even younger than he is to me.
I kept waiting for him to answer the questions, and he never really did.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't really do. Ever been in was 9 months, and that was one relationship that he was in that was 9 months, and all the rest have been like. The next longest I think he said was 2 months.
Yeah.
So I thought rather than being called the romantic idealist, he should have been called Mr. Flag on the Play, because I kept saying red flag as we were watching this episode. Red flag. Oh my gosh, red flag.
Red flag. His parents, whenever he told them, I wrote down that they laughed at him to his face and to the camera. It's pretty normal for people to have a reaction to the camera in private, but they laughed at his face to his face.
Yeah, the reaction to the camera was
more laughing.
If anything, more tame than the reaction they gave to his face, but that they were not enthusiastic or
seeming hopeful or anything other than, I wrote down incredulous. They just couldn't believe it.
They couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
They didn't really have anything to say about, like, oh, it's reality TV, or this is a really insane process, or anything any of the criticisms that we've heard from parents.
Right.
In the past.
And the more, kind of more normal reservations that people might have. A lot of people are understandably concerned about an arranged marriage on a reality show because that doesn't seem like a rational thing.
He also has never been to a wedding.
Right. He's never been to a wedding, which is that a red flag? I don't know. People don't do all sorts of things, but
it's strange for someone who idealizes marriage so very much.
Yeah. Why he wanted to do it, why he wanted to get married at first sight, he said he just started talking about like love and companionship, and his mom jumped right in and said, marriage is more than just love. You know, it's love is kind of a minimum requirement there.
Yeah. He really stopped and was like, Mom, do you really think that no one will ever be good enough for me? And they did a really nice, like, wah!
Yeah, the feedback sound that indicates.
But she kind of was like, I mean, she sort of seemed emotional, or they cut it together, but he didn't really strike me as someone who his mom overprotected him. Like, I feel like a lot of that is in his head. Like, she has two other sons who are in long-term, strong, normal relationships, and they seem to, like, really be giving him honest feedback, and I didn't see any, like, coddling or, like, no one's good enough for my baby or any of that stuff, but he sort of put those words in her mouth, and it was odd to me.
And we see his brother, one of his brothers, Tolliver, a couple of times. Tolliver is at the meeting where we're getting these reactions. We don't really hear from him there, but we also see him in the tuxedo shopping, and he seems like really confident. He seems to have a lot more weight to him, like in a real way. He just seems more solid than his brother, who's
like he's taking up the space in the room.
Right, where Zach feels very like, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous to be here.
Yeah. Whenever he was tuxedo shopping, I noticed that he said he really wanted a tuxedo that really represented him. He wanted something that really repped him, but he didn't really choose anything. Like, I don't feel like he knew what that meant. Like, he was hoping a suit would tell him who he was.
Yeah,
you know,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Other people were like, I want this kind of suit, or this is the thing that I like to wear, or this is what I look good in. And he was like, I've never even been to a wedding. Maybe I'd look good in this.
He mentioned a couple times his ultimate goal, which, his words, his ultimate goal is to have a beautiful wife and kids. That was a phrase that was always packaged together. Beautiful wife and kids. Doesn't really know what a relationship is, doesn't really know what a marriage is.
Or a wedding.
Or even a wedding, yeah.
Yeah. He said anything to reach his ultimate goal of having a wife and kids, including doing 1,000 push-ups, running 1,000 miles, or even talking to the experts.
Yeah.
Which was a really cute, adorable thing for a 5th grader to say about getting married. That's so cute. Like, I'll do anything to get a wife. I'll even do 1,000 push-ups, or maybe I would run 1,000 miles, or even talk to the principal about something or whatever. Being interviewed a little bit, or so you obviously have done.
Yeah. I mean,
those are the things that you have to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
To get a wife.
Yeah, I thought you knew about that.
Yeah,
not consecutively. I didn't do them all in a row.
But I remember that on the paperwork whenever we got married. It was you had to keep a log of the push-ups.
Right.
I didn't. As a wife, you don't have to actually worry about that paperwork. It's totally fine. But 1,000 push-ups. Talking to experts. did it. He said his one image for his life is to have his wife playing with the kids whenever he gets home from work.
Yeah. Just a very banal and sort of nothing image of some beautiful woman and some number of children.
And some kind of schedule that apparently involves, I don't know, like, okay. No, I work from home and then you take our kid to the park and then... No, that's never happened. That's really, that's a really dumb thing. I don't think I have my schedule out. Like, I don't know who gets home from work when for, like, the future. That's, like, not ever something I've thought about. That seems like total nonsense.
Yeah. It sounds like he saw a picture in a magazine of what a marriage might be like, and he's kind of just stuck on that. Like, it's not even cartoonish. It's like, you know, it doesn't quite have as much depth as a cartoon.
Which is strange because he has parents who are married and have been married the whole time.
Yeah. Love will make him complete. He says he believes that love will make him complete. Women he dates don't live up to his ideals. No one has ever lived up to his expectations. To play piano for someone doesn't quite ring.
Everyone's got to eat.
Yeah, everyone's got to eat, and it's like a communal thing. Like, you know, you could probably find an open mic or some place where you could play piano for like a person you've never met. You know. Now I'm gonna forget which season it is. I want to say. It's whatever, Boston. I don't remember which number season that is, but one of the guys on Boston, he said that he really wanted to get married at first sight because he was sick and tired of eating alone. He's always eating. He had a nice apartment, just stand at the counter and eat by himself, and he found that really sad and lonely. And like I found that touching, and that, you know, they got married and they stayed married.
Yeah.
For some reason, like, wanting to all the time.
Do it.
Did it.
That's beautiful.
It's a nice Yeah, a very famous brand of piano. The most well-known brand.
Absolutely. That was quite a fantasy, babe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was really nice.
So romantic.
That's how you get the ladies. Play the piano at them.
That's what we love. That's what we all love. Go. Zachary is gonna marry
Michaela.
30
years old, the stubborn sweetheart is what they're calling her.
She looks like a sweetheart. I wrote down the most important thing is that I love her dress.
I don't remember her dress. Oh, her wedding dress?
Yeah.
It was very pretty. Had lots of stuff. Like a wedding dress has like stuff.
The things.
Very nice.
It was really nice. I really liked it. Okay. Who did Michaela tell that she was getting married at first sight?
Her 3 older sisters, the youngest of 4 girls. I don't think she has any brothers. I think it's just...
Oh, so she's youngest too, just like her soon-to-be husband. And so whenever she told the friends, her sisters, they were really crying and emotional, and I wrote down that they were happy. Did they seem happy to you?
Yeah, very excited, happy. Like laughing and excited. One of the first things that one of them said was that you need someone understanding because you can be stubborn, and everybody got a big laugh out of that. So it seems like that's.
And they said it to her face, so like I feel like she really takes feedback well. Like she seemed to be pretty self-aware, and they were the same friends that came to dress shopping with her.
Yeah,
like they were pretty supportive and sweet. Like, I was team her friends.
Yeah, team her friend. Team Michaela's friends, for sure.
For sure.
Or sisters.
Sisters.
Not friends.
Sisters.
They're not friends. They're sisters.
Sisters.
Sisters are like best friends, apparently.
Absolutely.
I have a sister, but she doesn't have a sister.
I don't really know. She said, "Why are you single?" And the first thing she said was it wasn't her fault, which I thought was a super weird explanation.
Yeah.
For being single. Like,
yeah, she said for the most part, it's not my fault.
Yeah, and then everyone called her stubborn, which I think was like, I'm worried about that a little bit.
Yeah. One of her sisters says that she'll really need to adjust some things because she's very like, it's my way or the highway, kind of really wants things to be a certain way.
She said that she's never been in love before, but that she loves love and she loves the idea of love and she's just in love with love.
Yeah. She seems to also be kind of idealizing some stuff. She was really talking about her father, who, was actually, she mentions that, her father was killed by a drunk driver, it seems like, when she's an adult, because she also mentions that her father was an amazing example of love, and like that once she was driving and the hood of her car flew off and she called her dad and he drove out and saved the day, and that she said that that's the kind of love that she wants from a husband, which sweet story, maybe a little red flaggy to me. Like, I want to be rescued by the...
I wrote down that she feels like her ancestors are taking care of her in this next stage of her life. So I took it, like, hopefully a little sweeter. So we'll see how it plays out. But whenever she was dress shopping, she said she really felt like this whole thing was blessed by her dad and her grandma. Like, she said that they wouldn't have let this happen if it wasn't meant to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm going to give it a yellow flag. Like, let's see how it plays out. Like, it's either really sweet and she really believes that she comes from a long line of wonderful people and they care for her and they always will. Or no one will ever live up to her dad.
Yeah.
So no matter who she marries, she'll just still kind of feel sad that her dad isn't there.
Yeah, and I think that's what how it struck me was a little more in that maybe nobody can actually live up to that because you're again like idealizing things.
But she also said that she wanted to do this process because she needed to hand it over to somebody else, and maybe like her dad sort of gave her permission to do things or acted as an authority figure in her life. And maybe that's Pastor Cal now. Like, she's handed it over to these experts who... Pastor Cal is a fine enough father figure, I would say. And maybe that'll let her let go a little bit and really trust this. But she said that she wanted to do it because she wants to move on to her next stage of her life, but also that one day she'll be ugly and old and broke. And she wants support in that. And
well, she mentioned when she was younger, she said she was a lot more shallow, and she used to be like particularly about physical appearance and about money. And so that was the context of that, like one day we'll be old, ugly, and broke. Or one day we may be old, ugly, and broke, or whatever it was that she said. But so it seems like she's like really trying to embrace something
that's real and tangible, and a relationship that's beyond just what she can do for herself or what she can accomplish. What do we feel about Michaela and Zack? How do we think they're gonna play out?
honestly feel a little sorry for Michaela because I don't think this is going to work out, and I'm on the fence about some of her ideas about love, but I would say I'm firmly on whatever side of the fence Zach is not on, because I do not think he has got what it takes to go the distance. He doesn't seem to know anything about himself or people or relationships.
I think once he figures out which suit to wear to the wedding, he might be able to figure out who he is.
Yeah, I hope he's not going to torture this poor woman who just really. She started to really cut loose at the bachelorette party. She was having a blast. She seems like she's
a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, yeah. Big, beautiful smile. Just like a lot of energy. Seems like a lot of fun and full of life in a way that
Zach doesn't really seem.
Yeah, he seems like he might blow away in a strong wind.
Yeah, really listless, really lukewarm.
Yeah.
Hopefully not season 9 lukewarm.
Let's not speak his name.
Not in this house.
Longtime fans of Married at First Sight will know what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Ooh.
Jeez Louise.
That was terrible.
Getting upset. We gotta stop. We gotta move on.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you. I don't feel great about this. I'm worried Michaela is our sacrificial lamb for the season.
Yeah.
Just a huge gap in energy levels between these two.
Yeah.
And they both idealize things, and I feel like they both wrote the same kinds of answers on the questionnaire, but they sound really different coming out of their mouths.
Yeah. I think it seems like they probably wrote the same kind of answers on the questionnaires, but she like really meant it, and he doesn't seem to know how to really mean anything.
No.
It's a real
bummer.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
All right, Zack and Michaela.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for watching!